You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day, we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in options trading education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's Live Advantage Group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is Monday, June 17th, 2019. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Monday. The first thing to know is Draghi kicks off a busy week for central banks. European Central Bank President Mario Draghi will give opening remarks to the Eurozone Monetary Authority's annual 3-day meeting in Sintra, kicking off a busy week that will include policy decisions from the Federal Reserve, the Bank of Japan, and the Bank of England. Ahead of the meeting, Benoit Cœur, one of the possible candidates to succeed Draghi, gave a gloomy interview to the Financial Times, warning that market-based indicators of inflation expectations are signaling a much bleaker outlook for the economy than current data. And that's keeping the euro close to a 2-week low against the dollar. Although no interest rate changes are expected this week from the Fed, BOJ, or BOE, Fed Chair Jeremy Powell will be in the spotlight as investors expect a clearer hint as to what the Fed would see as an actual trigger to cut interest rates. The second thing to know today is Huawei launches a profit warning as trade tensions drag on. Huawei Technologies Chief Executive Officer Ren Zhengfei said Monday he expects the company's sales to drop to around $100 billion this year and next after the U.S. banned American companies from doing business with the Chinese firm. Although the U.S. blacklisting of Huawei was done for national security reasons, U.S. President Donald Trump did suggest in an interview with CNBC last week that something could be done with the company as part of the trade negotiations with China. U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross played down the importance of Trump and Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping at the G20 meeting on June 28th and 29th, while reiterating the American president was perfectly happy with continuing with his tariff strategy. Congressional hearings on the next planned round of U.S. import tariffs get underway on Monday. The third thing to know today is global stocks inch higher ahead of monetary policy decisions. Global stocks registered slight gains on Monday as the week's central bank meeting cast their shadow over early trading. They're talking about pre-open futures. The European bank sector supported the region's equities as Germany's Deutsche Bank was reported to be planning more radical cost-cutting. Asian shares staged a timid recovery near 1-week lows. Hong Kong's Hang Seng had one of the strongest showings, rising some 0.4% after the territory's leader Carrie Lam backed down on a bill that would have allowed extradition to China. The fourth thing to know is 737 MAX trials are to start as Boeing seeks to restore confidence. The Federal Aviation Administration could start flight trials of Boeing's 737 MAX safety enhancement as early as this week, according to sources cited by the Wall Street Journal. At the Paris Air Show on Sunday, Chief Executive Dennis Muilenburg admitted the company had made mistakes regarding the model's warning systems and promised that Boeing's first priority was to rebuild trust. With the MAX 737 grounded for safety reasons, Airbus will reportedly launch its A321XLR airplane at the Paris Air Show. It's hoping to seal over 200 orders, according to reports. The air show comes at a time when the slowing economy is taking a toll on airlines. Germany's Deutsche Lufthansa became the latest to issue a profit warning Monday, citing overcapacity in the short-haul sector and higher fuel costs. The fifth thing to know today is Iran plans to break uranium limits in 10 days. Iran announced Monday that it will break internationally agreed limits on its stocks of enriched uranium in 10 days unless Europe takes steps to help it counteract the crippling effect of U.S. economic sanctions. Tehran had previously threatened to renege on the nuclear deal after the Trump administration withdrew from the pact last year and imposed economic sanctions. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said Sunday that the U.S. is considering a full range of options against the backdrop of rising tensions embodied by the attacks on 2 oil tankers near the Persian Gulf last week. Iran has denied accusations of planning the attacks. Pompeo, who has said there is no doubt that Iran was behind the attacks, said a military response was among the options under consideration. Our second story today is from MarketWatch.com. Bitcoin tops 9,000 level for the first time in 13 months. The price of Bitcoin crossed the $9,000 threshold Sunday for the first time in more than a year. Bitcoin peaked around $9,385 in intraday trading, according to CoinDesk. The cryptocurrency slipped in the afternoon and was last around the $9,100 level. The digital currency is up more than 22% over the past 30 days and up 142% year to date. Sunday's intraday prices were the highest for Bitcoin since May 2018, though still well off its all-time high of above $19,000 in late 2017. Investors have been bullish on Bitcoin recently, with optimism stoked by the expected announcement this week that Facebook will launch a new cryptocurrency backed by a number of major companies, including Visa, PayPal Holdings, and Uber Technologies. The new coin, reportedly to be called Libra, would allow users to make purchases around the internet, not just Facebook. Bitcoin's rise has boosted the wider crypto market, with rival digital currencies such as Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin also posting significant gains over the past week. Our final story today is from Investing.com. India to impose retaliatory tariffs on 28 U.S. goods from Sunday. India will impose higher retaliatory tariffs on 28 U.S. products, including almonds, apples, and walnuts, from Sunday, following Washington's withdrawal of key trade privileges for New Delhi. The new duties will take effect from Sunday, a government notification said, in the latest trade row since U.S. President Donald Trump took office in 2017, vowing to act against countries with which Washington has a large trade deficit. From June 5th, President Trump scrapped trade privileges under the Generalized System of Preferences for India, the biggest beneficiary of a scheme that allowed duty-free exports of up to $5.6 billion. India termed that unfortunate and vowed to uphold its national interests. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use for today, Monday, June 17th, 2019. your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli, trade smart, and have a great week.
The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in options trading education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's Live Advantage Group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com.